Was there any times that you didn't want to and he done it?
Yeah.
That's rape though.
Yeah.
Have you reported that?
Yes. I went through like the first, I think, 48 hours of meeting Lee on my phone, and there's over 61 lies within the first 48 hours. Someone that really shouldn't be walking the streets freely. And when I say that, it's just because of the things that I've seen and heard from him. He picks a very certain type of person. Like, I feel like me and Kate are quite similar. We've been through a lot, and we have very colourful journeys through life. There's only so long that you can believe that he's got a house on the palm and, you know, he hasn't invited you because, you know, he needs to test you because, you know, just in case you might be using him because he's been burnt in the past. Basically broken into an empty house, and they caught him in there walking around filming himself saying that it was his house. And like, yeah, it wasn't his house. She ended up losing nearly $170,000 to him. And I know that it's been made into a public joke, but when you actually look into it, it's very scary that someone like that is just casually just walking around. As soon as you start believing something at that, and like you're like, oh, actually, yeah, this isn't right, and you start looking into it, then all of a sudden it pulls something out of the bag, and then you're like, oh, actually, maybe I am wrong. He wrote out contracts, basically, like to say that he was allowed to rape me. Yeah, he messaged about doing things to like younger people, males, and paying them hush money.
You can now follow me on all my social media platforms to find out who my latest guest will be. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you're notified for when my next podcast goes live.
And boom, we're on. And today's guest, we've got Alana Percival. Alana, how are we?
Very good, thank you. Very good.
First and foremost, thanks for coming on the show. You were fiancé to Lee Andrews,
Unfortunately,
who's
yes.
now married to Katie Price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a podcast from him 2024. There seems to be a lot of shiftiness about this man. I don't know him personally, but from what I gather, he does look like a bit of a bullshitter. You've lived it firsthand. You went through a lot with the man.
Yeah.
A lot of lies, a lot of videos he was sending. You bought into it, let's be honest. You bought into it as well. The same engagement that he had with you, he had with Katie. I believe he's been married a couple of times before, maybe more, I don't know. I just heard on the podcast that he'd had a wife, divorced, met another woman. So it seems like, I don't know if it's more a plan or agenda to get that from women. I don't know, but I guess that's why you're here today. How are you?
Yes, very good. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely a very odd character in many of ways. Hence why I came out into the public in the first place, because I truly believe that he's actually quite a dangerous person, as well as a con artist and just, like you say, a bit of plonker, and just someone that really shouldn't be walking the streets freely. And when I say that, it's just because of the things that I've seen and heard from him. So I've had my own experiences, and I also know a lot about like ex-relationships because I also done the same as Kate. So I ignored what the outside world said and just listened to myself, which I wish that I had gone with my intuition to start with.
Hindsight's always a wonderful
Yes.
thing, you know, and
Yeah.
if somebody comes in and speaks the right stuff, tells you what you want to hear, love can be blind, you know. You kind of ignore the red flags for possibly one green flag.
Yeah.
But that's life. That's why you're here. And,
Yes. You
before-
learn.
Yeah, you need to learn, because if you don't learn, it's life can be a struggle without all that madness, you know. Add that on, fuck me, it's a car crash. But before we get into everything though, I always like to go back to the start of my guests to get more of a bit of understanding about you, Alana. Where did you grow up and how it all began?
I grew up in Kings Langley, Hertfordshire. Yeah, had a really good, normal life, privileged upbringing. All girls private school. I was always a bit of a black sheep. And and yeah, left there. Was in a relationship from a young age. My partner died at my young age. Went through quite a lot of stuff in my life, but always sort of got a cup half full, and been just taught a lot of lessons in life. And I think I've lived the life of like a 50-year-old. So like, even though I'm 32, I feel like I've had an uphill paper round, is what I say.
And the milk round. How old were you when you lost your partner?
I was in early 20s,
How old was he?
22.
Do you mind me asking how he died?
He took his own life. Yeah.
Was there signs?
Yeah. There was a lot of stress surrounding the time. We lived together. And yeah, there was a lot of signs, but back then I'm not saying that it's like a trend now, but back then, like, people taking their own lives was like a massive thing, like, it wasn't very common. Now I feel like it's a bit more common, and like, yeah, you have weird things on social media, and I don't know, it's a bit, how it's sort of transformed into something that's a bit like more normal now, because mental health is more normal, I guess. It's normalized. It was a hard time in my life. It was a very hard time in my life because we were all come from a little village, and we had like a big group of friends. And I guess when it comes to that, when he passed, there's a reason why he went so downhill. And it's something that I've never told anyone, and I still won't tell anyone, because I will never tarnish somebody's name, because it wasn't true what happened. But he actually had something like accused against him, and it was wrongly accused, and it just really, it tore him apart, and he just went downhill and downhill every week. And then he started off by, just a bit of self-harm. I got him sectioned. They let him out within 24 hours. And yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night one night, and he had gone. And he was, yeah.
The false allegations, man, it destroys lives, men and women.
Yeah.
I was going through family courts and shit to see my son, and I'm a strong character, but the levels are going through something, and you think, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, it does, it's the negative environment. You can never be positive because it's constant emails and letters and barristers and lawyers.
Yeah.
I think I just want to get these people out of my fucking life.
Yeah.
And it's consistent, and it's a money, and it's a mental drainage, and yeah, it's understandable, man, because it's rife now. And I'm not saying everybody's innocent either. You don't know the full stories of everybody's lives, but when you're going through a process like that, it does take its toll.
Definitely.
And you can see why a lot of people think, nope, the only way is the other side.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really sensitive around like the subject of like depression now, because I went into such a dark depression, and I ended up in North London Priory. And now again, it's so normalized. Like, people are like, oh yeah, I've got depression and I'm on this medication, or oh yeah, I've got anxiety, depression, I'm on that medication. I'm like, why is everyone on medication? You've literally had like a hard week. Like, change something in your life. Go to the gym. Go save up. Go on holiday. Change your job. Change your circle. There's so much things that people can do, but instead they take a tablet.
But change is difficult, and anybody, even if you're in a life of mayhem, it's comfortable for people because it's what they know.
Yeah. And I actually said this last night to Nadia. I was like, I think people find it more easy to be like depressed and down to actually like change and then be happy, because being happy is actually harder than being miserable.
Being happy adds more pressure as well, because you try and stay there as well, and then life throws a little curveball. But doctors have got to take accountability for the way they treat patients. They're not asking them, how's your relationship, how's your work, what are you eating, do you get enough exercise, are you going out in nature, are you planning stuff, are you doing affirmations? Like, it might sound a bit gay, but repeating stuff, you can rewire the brain if you do it consistently. And I just think it's easy to give them pills, and it's very trendy now. Now, we speak about mental health more than we've ever done, but yet suicide rates the worst it's ever been. So, as speaking about it all the time, helpful, I don't think it is. I used to be massive for mental health,
Yeah.
but I understand if as a man, listen, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You maybe have one or two people who genuinely do care, but it's not enough for you to really want to change. And the bottom line is, men keep it all within, and women do as well, I guess. But I can only speak for a man. But I feel as if we do bottle everything up, but I feel as if we don't want to burden people either, because everybody's got their own shit. So why the fuck is a man want to just moan and complain? I feel as if a man should talk a couple of times. Listen, I'm struggling here. Maybe how do I deal with this? Figure solutions out. But the more you speak about it, the more you just confirm that you are struggling. And if you're going to keep putting that out there, that's exactly what you're going to keep attracting. And it's difficult to break that cycle. But if you're going to keep moaning and complaining about something, you're never going to get the results. You're never going to get the change. And there's a lot of people who, and there's so many different theories now. There's so many different answers. Go to the gym and do this. But it's difficult when you're in that dark place. But people can change. People have been in seconds away from suicide. And no, it's not for me. I interviewed people who's been suicidal.
Yeah.
Some of them have tried to kill themselves,
Yeah.
and the rope has snapped. And do you know the first thing they think about when they try to do it, when it happens? What have I done?
Yeah.
They don't want to do it.
No.
But if only people could just get that realization before they do it, because as soon as they're doing it, they think, shit, that's where he was hanging from the rope and it fucking snapped. And I'm laughing because we were laughing about it, but he was gone in his mind. It was happier to go because it feels as if it would be easier for other people, but that's not the case, because as we say now, you don't really take away the pain, you just pass it on.
Yeah,
Did
literally.
Did you have tattoos in that beforehand?
A couple, not as many. But weird that you say that, because I actually, as depressing as this sounds, I look at my tattoos and I will get a tattoo when I'm in a bad mood. So like I will go to a different artist every time, because it's whoever has space at that time that I want to go and get a tattoo, because it's like it's like a form of release.
It's release self-harming. It can be a sense of
Yeah.
self-harm. I've got tattoos as well. I get big tattoos on my back. I'm not a fan of them anymore, but I wouldn't laser them off, first of all, because it's painful.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I got one in my ribs. The one in my back was terrible. I was just sweating, shaking. I never used anything. I like to think I'm tough, but it's they're fucking sore. But I look at them, it's just the little chapters for me, stages.
Yeah.
That's what was meaningful to me at that time. It made sense. I look at them now and I think, that's bad. It's so cringe, man. Like,
is it tribal?
no, I've got a massive crucifix with Jesus on.
Okay.
But I only got it done when I was like in my early 20s. But my back's got a little bigger.
Yeah.
But the head looks as if it's growing. His face is all over the gaff. The hair looks terrible. I don't even know if it looks. I don't even know. Isn't I laugh because who is that man? I have tattooed on my back.
Yeah,
It's just some random. And it made sense at the time. But for me, I think it was a sense of self-harming as well.
Yeah.
It's like you say, it's a release.
Yeah.
We sniffing gear, boozing, we taking shit.
I went through a stage. So I came out of the Priory. Everyone was acting very odd around me, and it was like treading on eggshells, and I didn't like the vibe. So I actually just booked a one-way ticket and I went over to Cyprus and just started fresh there for a little while. And just where no one knew me or my situation, and I could just be me again and just try and rebuild myself. I guess it's a bit like running away. I've done it a few times, but it always works in my favour. So I feel like that's how I reset, is by just getting away and then just focusing on myself, and then I can come back on once I'm rebuilt. But it's funny that you said about repetition, because I just opened a company. It's a retreat company. And I've actually called it reps, because I'm the same as you. Like if you repeat good stuff, or if you repeat stuff in the gym, it gets better. Or you can repeat negative and it just gets more negative. And I'm very much all about like vibrations and what you put out and what you say to yourself and how you speak to yourself is so important. Like even if I'm in a bad mood, I do the most random thing. If I get up and I know that I'm in my head, I'm like, I can't be bothered with today, which I do have. I'm human. I will put on my favourite song and then I just jump on the bed for like 2 or 3 minutes. Like, just move, jump on the bed. But if you can't laugh at yourself after like a minute of that and like just feel a bit like looser and just a bit better, and then just say, I'm going to have a good day. Today's going to be a good day. Because if I wake up and I'm like, oh, this is shit, get on the phone, oh yeah, I'm like woken up, feel like shit, already I'm like making it a negative day. And then all of a sudden it's like, you know, when them days where you walk past the door and you're like, your jacket gets caught on the door and you're like, for fuck's sake, you know, like all of that, it seems to like just have such an impact. Like, so yeah, I'm a big
Yeah, it's
realist when it
important, but
comes
when
to-
people are so caught up in debt, the working 9 to 5, kids,
Yeah.
schools,
Yeah.
there's just so much tension. And
Yeah.
I don't believe humans should be following that sort of system and those rules, but we became so far. I think is in life, we actually need a reset. I think the world has become so toxic. I think it's become so satanic. I think, listen, there's a lot of beauty in the world as well, but I just feel social media is making everyone lose their mind. I think we've been the guinea pigs.
100%.
I think I'm going to come off social media for good. I feel as if I can't concentrate anymore. I try and do a task and I think, fuck me, it takes me 5 years to do the simplest fucking thing. Like, I sit and do a podcast, we try and get clips and trailers, and say it was an hour and a half long, it'd probably take me like 6 hours to watch because I'm up doing other shit.
Yeah.
People say it's ADHD, whatever. I feel as if it's social media. I feel as if the constant doom
It's scrolling because you watch something for like 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. So our attention span is like shrinking. Like, even with the kids now, like, it's like everyone has ADHD, but actually I think it's like you say, it's the whole scrolling thing, because
Yeah.
it's like you watch something and it's like so short. So our brain is now like becoming our attention span is shorter on them, like one small things, and we want like, yes, it is. That's my belief on it as well.
Yeah, I feel as if we're in a dark place. I don't want obviously speaking about it, but it's just I feel as if where we're at. I feel as if AI is playing a massive part in how we see the world, how it's all divided, how it's all corrupt, and there is a lot of beauty when you actually put your phone down. You can actually enjoy life a bit more.
100.
But we can't because it's so addicted.
I went to Iceland last week to actually trial run my own retreats. It is the most beautiful place I've ever been. It's like, just nature wise, it's just amazing. Like, everywhere I looked, I'm like, wow, 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 wow. Like, this is just amazing. And like the mountains that you climb and the fresh water, it's just the air quality itself. Like, it's just so fresh. And like, like you say, like for me, it was like, that was a reset for myself, even just going there and doing that and being around. I didn't realize that I meant to be doing content and making content, but like my screen time was literally nothing, because I'm in, like, I was so in it and like in with nature and like enjoying it, that I wasn't trying to get a false dopamine off of looking at other people's lives or sitting on, you know, scrolling. I didn't even think about my phone. And when it did come to like making the content, I was like, oh, I've had such a nice day. I actually don't want to ruin it by sitting on my phone all evening. Like, I'm just want to go back and just lay down and just like take in what I've just done and like where I've just been, and like really actually get time to appreciate what's just happened. Because I actually sat in a sweat lodge, and like my whole brain like had a bit of a shift in there. A lot of people have not heard of sweat lodges, and it's something that I can't really even go into because it's ceremonial. It's going to be on my retreats, and I want people to experience it being blind going into it, because it is like, it really can change your perspective of like life. So before I went in, the man that runs them, he actually said the war is over and you're going home, and it's like a rebirth. And I was like, I just go into things very like optimistic, open-minded, and it's probably one of the best things I've ever done. I've had so much therapy in my life. I've talked to many counselors, you know, I've done it all. I've seen so many people, and that one thing in itself, I just feel like it can be quite a long ceremony. But it just, by the end of it, all I could think of was I was crying, but like crying because I was like, I feel so blessed to be in like right here, right now with these people. I don't know any of them. And like the vibrations and like the energy and the love. And I was like, all of this has just happened to me. And I'm like, I'm just sat here just thinking like, okay, it might have all just happened to me, but like, I'm so lucky and I'm here and I'm breathing and I'm just like, how lucky am I?
How long were you in the Priory for?
A few months.
What sort of stuff were you doing in there?
So, you go in classes from like 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. So it'd be like, you'll do like art therapy, meditation, and then you'll have like open circles where like you'll speak. But I was so drugged up when I was in there. Like they put me on so like quetiapine, mirtazapine, citalopram. Like I was like brain dead, like literally brain dead. Like I got injected with diazepam a couple of times because I would get upset and angry, and I just didn't have a lot of control over what was going on with myself. So yeah, I don't. And I think with places like that, it's almost like a prison. When you come out, it's like you like hit society and you go back to the problem. Like I had to go back and be somewhere where it happened, whereas that became like a safe haven almost. It was like I didn't want to leave because I knew that I was going to have to go out and like.
When did your problem sort of start? When did the mental issues start? Were you psychosis or anything?
No.
Hearing things, seeing things?
No.
Did you smoke weed?
Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the problems as well.
Yeah.
It was so glorified weed. I smoked weed for years, and
Years.
at that time, because if I was sniffing gear, I was different. I was a fucking loose cannon.
Yeah.
Smoking weed, I could hibernate. I could sit myself. I never get anything done. You made plans with me. I was never showing up.
Yeah.
I'm lazy anyway, and my life is going good, and I'll still think, fuck that. I'm just sick of people. I'm not sick of people, maybe a bit too much, but I don't like to be surrounded anymore with noise and people.
Yeah.
Just love nature and my dogs and my kids and just
I'm
try
the
and
same.
enjoy it.
I feel really like I'm quite sensitive to noise. Like even this morning when I was on the train, like when there's people coughing, I'm like it on a flight as well, and like sneezing, and like, I'm quite sensitive. So like I'm like, oh God, get me out of here.
So you were already losing. How much weed were you smoking?
Quite a bit, yeah. I was up until actually I moved to Dubai.
That's a big problem. Weed, especially what it's sprayed with now.
Yeah, chemicals.
You
Yeah,
don't even know what you're smoking anymore.
Yeah.
We used to get a bit of hash
yeah,
fucking 25 years ago, and then weed started coming in, and it was actually okay. You could smoke a joint, eat a couple of pizzas, have a good laugh.
yeah,
Then you just became wired. You couldn't move.
yeah.
Just sunk right into the fucking couch, and you're like that. I used to wake up the same place I fucking fell asleep. Hands all mangled, head all fucking, and I used to think, what am I doing? But then I would go, I'm not smoking it anymore.
Yep.
And then I would get a shower, I'd go on with my day, and then I would get excited for smoking it.
Yep.
And I think, nah, this isn't a good place.
It became, for me, it was more like a regular thing. So like I would wake up, the first thing I'd do, roll a spliff, have a cup of coffee, take dogs out for a walk while having another spliff, come back, roll a spliff, sit on the sofa, have another coffee, have my breakfast. Like it was like a routine just all through the day. You know, even in the middle of the night, I'd wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd have a spliff in my tray and, you know, smoke a bit and go back to sleep.
Nah, that's too much, because it's just, you're completely lost. And I'm not here to put people down who smoke weed.
But when you come off of it, you don't realise, like you said, because it's, everyone's like, oh, you know, it's natural, it's this, it's that. It's not natural these days. It's, like you say, it's full of chemicals. And when I stopped, like, I can't even tell you, like, I was, for maybe 4 or 5 weeks, I was in a bad way. Like, I was absolutely waking up just soaking wet and just having the worst nightmares, where my brain was actually being active again and, like, coming back to life. But it was wild. Like,
But people who smoke weed think people don't see it.
Yeah.
Their skin colour changes, the smell. Like I say, you never stick to any plans. They've got good intentions of meeting up, doing things. But when it comes to it, the weed always wins.
Yeah.
Because you would rather just sit in your house
Yeah.
You know, and then you think you've just let people down. I just switched my phone off. I wouldn't even tell people, no, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
I would just ignore it, which is so bad as well. But that's just who I was. I had so much good intentions to doing so many good things. Even when my dad was dying, the family used to go for like meals and stuff. He was got told he had 3 months to live. And I just couldn't be asked.
Yeah.
Part of that was a bit of depression, though. I couldn't handle the fact of it, so I would rather just sit in and puff my brains out. It was just easier. People were calmer. The family liked me on it because it's like sedating yourself.
Yeah.
You just chilled. You're like a big fucking zombie.
Yeah.
See, when you get out then, did you realise how much drugs you were taking in there? Or were you just not caring because it was numbing you?
Yeah, just not really care. I never really thought of it like that, to be honest, because it was just, it was just like, it was quite just a norm for me for so many years.
How was that for your family, to see their daughter going through that shit?
Yeah, I do always feel for my family with me because even though I do them very proud now, it's not that they haven't always been proud of me, but I do come from like a really, really like good family. And I've always just been a little bit of like the wild child, I guess. Like me and my sister are very like chalk and cheese, even to look at. Like my mum hates tattoos. I come back with tattoos. She would cry her eyes out, you know. And like I know I was a little bit more like careless about things. I was like, oh, you know, it's my body, it's this, it's that, you know. Whereas I think again where it all changed for me is when I decided to move to Dubai, because I just was like, right, and no offense to anyone that might be listening to this that was friends with me, but I just realized that I'd been brought up in a family that's really wealthy, and I should be somewhere different in life, and instead I'm going around with what I would call a degenerate, you know. And as I'm quite happy to say that, and like I said, I'd apologize if anyone is watching this, but that's how I feel. Like I was surrounded by people that were so negative, and they didn't really want to go to work, and they didn't want to make anything out of their life. It's not that we have to be successful and have, you know, luxury cars, luxury house, because there's one thing going to Thailand has really brought me back on, is like a simple life is actually so easy. Like the more simple you have it, the easier it is to go and do all these great things, because actually when you have less, it's like you can actually go and do more. So like, but some people want to have a family and do this and that and the other. So I also understand that part. But for me, I definitely think it had a toll on my family, but they've always just accepted who I am and been really supportive, because they know that I haven't exactly had the easiest of times. So like, it's hard because...
But there's only so many free passes you can get.
Yes.
Without people saying, listen, get your fucking head out your ass.
Yeah.
Stop using this, because someone can die and we can use it for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's Christmas, it's their birthdays, it's the anniversaries. Oh, that food reminds me. There comes a stage, like when my dad died, my mum was up at the grave for years, every day.
Yeah.
And I says, look, I fucking love you, but you need to get your head out your ass. Things need to change. You can't keep repeating that cycle, because it's so dark and negative, and it's difficult to say that to someone because they'd automatically get angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in my own head, it made sense. Like, oh, come on to fuck. Like, you're going up there every day. You're coming back miserable. You understand the grieving process is different for everyone. But for years, and in fact, listen, she's amazing, my mum. But just repeating that cycle all the time, I don't think it's healthy.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can use that for then to sit in misery.
Yeah, I done exactly the same. Like I used to go down to the tree or the grave, and like I'd sit there and like, but I'd barely, because it was left with a lot of whys, but I'm never going to get the answer. So like, it took me a lot of years to actually realise that the why is never going to get answered. Like it's just as simple as that, and I have to just carry on living my life.
I don't think we know how to handle grief.
Yeah.
I think we handle it wrong.
Yeah.
I think we should celebrate death.
Yes, agreed.
I just don't think we're black, be miserable.
No.
I don't think that's how we should. I don't know how we should handle it, if I'm honest, but I feel as if it can be. Life should be celebrated if we understood it to a degree. I just think we then sit in our own misery. I think it gives us time to sulk. Obviously, missing someone is very important, especially if they're a big part of your life, but I just don't think we handle it right. I think we do it backwards. And I
Yes.
think it makes us worse.
I agree. It was only last week when I was in Iceland because my best friend had a funeral to go to, and I said, I've literally been to 2 funerals in my life, like, and I will not go to another one unless it's like my closest of family, because I'm like, I just find them so depressing. I don't actually understand it. Like, it makes no sense. We all go and like be sad about this person, but actually, we should be happy that we've had that person to make the memories with.
I'm actually surprised humans aren't scared shitless every day about dying. Like, as soon as we're born, we start to die. Like,
Yeah.
we kind of
It's the
just go
only
through
thing that
life.
we're guaranteed.
Yeah, we
Like,
just go through life and not really.
this is what I try and tell people is like, as doom and gloom as it may sound, you shouldn't even look at it like that. We are just guaranteed to be born and then to die. So like what you do in between that is completely up to you. And it's your own story and your own journey. So like you write your own book. So like, and I read a negative book. Like it's been wild, and it's like I've had some really fun times. I've met some really cool people, but I'm finally at a stage in my life where I'm like, I actually genuinely have found like my true happiness. And I wish that, again, in hindsight, that I'd realised what I've realised now earlier on, because I'm like, right, okay, like, you know, I'm just out here just traveling and doing this, that, and the other. And people must think, I don't know what she does. What does she do for her money? What does she do for this? What does she do for that? Because I just am just doing what I want when I want, but it is actually quite simple if you just think about logically and what you actually want out of life.
Yeah, it's simple, but don't use it as simple because we need to learn our lessons first.
Yes.
And some people don't. Some people can go through the same lessons 10, 20, 30 times before it hits.
Yep.
Do you think being private school girl coming from a wealthy family makes you want to rebel? Because
Yeah, I definitely think like I had a lot of rules when I was younger, and yeah, like they were quite strict, my parents. So I moved out at a young age. Like
how young?
I didn't drive when I moved, so I was 15, 16, yeah. So like, but I didn't want to have rules. So for me, yeah, I think I just got in with the wrong crowd quite young as well.
But you would have been a target then if you're who your family was and what you're doing. Because a lot of these girls, because I used to date, I came from a rough area,
Yeah.
but the fucking private school girls loved it. They fucking loved it. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, what the fuck? Because we stay in a place called Posso in Glasgow. It's rough as fuck. These girls are staying in fucking £1 million, £2 million houses.
Yeah.
But they used to come up there and drink.
Yeah, that
14
was
and
me.
15, and I
So-
think I wasn't complaining, but I'm just thinking I understand it now that they were just trying to get that escape and to feel normal
yeah,
instead of people looking down at them and little snobs. They hated that. They hated getting called that. They
Yeah.
wanted to be, because they felt, oh, I'm not, but they were. But they just wanted to be with the bad sort of lads at the time.
yeah, that was me. And I think the bad thing that comes with that is like I came from a farm. We had a swimming pool. We had quad bikes, motorbikes, horses, dune buggies, everything. So like land, and my dad owned a company where we could all go to London for free, and like, you know, no one had to worry about getting there, getting home. So like I had a very like, but then because I became friends with people that haven't had that, it was like when it wasn't until I went into the Priory that I realised, shit, like I don't actually have any friends, like actual friends, because no one. It's opposite Southgate train station. No one. People would get in a taxi and go outside at 7 a.m. after being on it all night to go and pick up another bag. But you know, you can't jump on a train and come and see a friend that's like suffering and just lost their partner. And that hit me really hard, because when I came out, like I felt so alone, because I've not just lost my partner, I've also lost my whole circle, because I'm like, why should I give people the time of day that haven't come and seen me in like the hardest time of my life?
When were you at your darkest?
Then, yeah, and I think when I was with Lee, It's he picks a very certain type of person. Like, I feel like me and Kate are quite similar. We've been through a lot, and we have very colourful journeys through life, and we're quite friendly and like very like, if someone says something to us, it's sort of just, it doesn't quite stick.
Mhm.
So he's very manipulative, and he's like clever with his words. When he has you one-on-one, obviously you guys have seen more of it now, so, and where it's become public, but when it's just you two, it is so manipulative, because he will pick up on your pain points and he puts you into your feminine energy, and like you start to trust and you start to love, and you're like, wow, like this man gets me, because he does this. It's a cycle. And he is a psychopath.
You would be a target.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're very open, you're very honest, and you're vulnerable.
Yes.
So any man who's got a bit of savvy,
Yep.
every person wants to believe what their partner's saying. So if
It's-
you've got someone who's fucking buttering you up and filling your head with absolute shit, you're in your own world.
Yeah.
You go, yep, this is a man, this is it, because you want to believe
And
it.
wow, I finally found someone that understands, and like makes me feel safe. And you really do. You open up. And I opened up to him, more than I would ever to anyone, or have ever to anyone, about what I've been through and my life and this and that. And, even like down to my parents splitting up when I was around 15, like, and he built those pain points, and, he took his little notes in his phone, and he done everything to make me feel loved, wanted. My dad used to buy us flowers, and before he got really, really like wealthy, we used to stand at Watford Market selling flowers on a market stand, and in Camden, and that was our like upbringing. And then all of a sudden, his whole life changed, and he actually made something of his life. So like he knew that flowers meant a lot to me, so there was always fresh flowers, and I told him a lot about my partner that had died, and how our relationship was, obviously we were young as well, so it's always going to be more fresh. It's always going to be more like there's less problems and less hurt and pain and issues, because it's young love.
So how did you meet then? How did you and Lee meet? Well, how did it happen?
So weirdly, he was already friends with me on Facebook, which I don't really know how that happened. And I was down at Kite Beach in Dubai, and I'd put up a story of me just in a restaurant, and then he turned around and he was like, "Oh, I saw you down at Kite Beach, I looked twice," and I said, "Oh, if I'd seen you, I would have looked 3 times," because I'd gone through his profile, and obviously it doesn't look like what his photos do. So I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, he's good looking. And then I've gone through his profile, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, yeah, it's kind of an impressive guy. So we started talking, and yeah, we ended up, we didn't date for a week because I was really busy with work. And he told me that he was really busy with work, with the Royals and everything else.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
See when he was already friends with you, were you already a target?
I don't know. And who's to say if he was there or not at that time? Like, I always do think that, like, was you actually there, or were you just saying that you were there at that time and that he had seen me from...
To start a conversation?
Yeah.
Well, I watched a podcast of him last night,
Yeah.
2024. He says he was married. He says he then fell in love with another woman.
Yeah.
But what I picked up, he said she used to go paddle boarding.
Yeah.
And then he signed up to go paddle boarding, and then met in the water. And then people who signed up for the paddle boarding leave their number.
Yeah.
You do that in Dubai, you put your name, your number. So he memorised her number. So after the paddle boarding, then messaged her as well. So was he doing these things? Listen, love is love as well. If you like someone, you're going to put an extra effort. You're going to be that extra little bit more creepier to try and get their number, to try and get their attention. Like buying you flowers, it's not a big thing, but until you got on the relate, it's a good thing. Like, we've got so many labels now of love bombing, this and that. People like to do good things, but If it's more sinister behind it because you have another motive,
Yes.
then that's different.
Yeah.
So for him to get numbers and it's more pre-planning, it seems to me, he sees targets.
Yeah.
Who are these people? Does background checks. What can I get from these people? What's their story? I've then got ammunition that I can use and manipulate to then get these people to do what I want.
Yeah, and I think it's a really weird thing with him because I think to start, he loves, I think he gets a lot out of like love bombing and manipulating because I do think, I don't think he's in love with you. I think he's obsessed with that feeling of like wooing and wowing and this and that. And it's not until you start pulling them up on these lies that it starts to affect the relationship, because there's only so long that you can believe that he's got a house on the palm and, you know, he hasn't invited you because, you know, he needs to test you because, you know, just in case you might be using him because he's been burnt in the past, and, you know, he'll get you a taxi instead of, like, he'll say, oh yeah, like, you know, you can borrow the Range Rover. You know, I've got 5 cars sitting on the driveway and none of them are getting used. So, you know, I'll just send you up, I'll send my driver up. The Range Rover never turns up, you know. It's every day there's like a promise. I think, like, I went through like the first, I think 48 hours of meeting Lee on my phone, and there's over 61 lies within the first 48 hours.
Surely that's a red flag with so many messages within 48 hours.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, he's like that throughout. Like, it's relentless. Like, when I used to come home, obviously I realised that he had a flight ban, because, so that was another massive thing. So I wanted to come home and see my family. So I'm like, oh, like, do you want to come? Yeah, I'll come. And then, like, we were meant to fly at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then like at 4 o'clock in the morning, he's texting me. He's like, oh, it's not you. Like, I've got some work that's popped up and I need to go to Qatar and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, so you can't come? No, but I'll meet you there in a couple of days. And obviously I have but no idea at this stage. So I'm like, yeah, okay, like, no problem at all. Oh, you know, I'll upgrade you to business. I'll pay for your flight. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, the flight's already covered. Like, I've paid for it. It's fine. Oh, I'll upgrade you. And I'm just not a taker. So I'm like, no, it's fine. Don't worry. Like, I'll take a couple of sleeping tablets. I'll be knocked out anyway. I don't care where I'm sitting. And so he's like, no, like, let me. And I, like, you know, but, and he's like, oh, you know, don't try and block my blessings. You know, that's just one thing that he always used to say. And I would be like, no, honestly, I'm absolutely fine. And then I came home, and then, like, there was an excuse in 2 days' time. Then there was another excuse in like 4 days' time. And then, like, the excuses just kept on going and going and going. And then I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, you know, like, he's now not getting on any flights. And when I first got with him, I did receive quite a lot of messages from exes. Like, be careful, he's done this to me, he's done that to me, he's perforated my ear, or
Perforated my eardrum.
Yep. He's broken my nose, you know, he's strangled me many of times, you know, he's took my phones, he smashed them up, he's very jealous, he's very angry, he's dangerous, don't go near him, you're his new victim. Like, I was receiving multiple messages off of multiple people. And I was like, nah, you know, they're just bitter exes. You know exactly what people thought about me when I came out. They were like, oh, bitter scorned ex, you know, she's just lying, or, you know, and then he was trying to say that I was lying, when I think everyone can quite clearly see what he is now. And whoever doesn't needs help themselves.
So he was love bombing your messages. Where did you meet? Where were you going if you couldn't go back? He says he has a house in the Palm. Like, where were you going?
Hotels and his dad's.
That's automatically red flags. But if
Yeah.
you've got a hotel once, twice, maybe the house is getting renovated.
Yeah.
But
he would take like videos, and like, for me, he used to say, like, it wasn't even his house, by the way. So he's actually gone to the lengths of
to go into the Palm?
going to the Palm and taking videos of him walking down like the beach, and he's in my hoodie. Yeah. And he's like, oh, you know, I'm just walking down on my beach on my fond. You know, it was always like my this and my that. And, you know, oh, there's no one ever on here. Look, like, you know, and that's the house just there. And it's like 4 houses over there, like you can't even see it. He's like, you know, but the doer, something to do with the electric, has gone off, and you know they need to reconnect it. So we're just staying in a hotel again tonight, and then like once it's back on, you know, we'll go in and we'll cook some breakfast, da 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 da. And then like he'll stand at the front door the next day, and he'll be like, "Oh, the doer's still not on," like, but he's just stood by the front door, like he's not in that. He's never in the house. And actually, I know that there was a woman that messaged and said that, like, I think you need to come and get your like boyfriend, because he's like basically broken into an empty house, and they caught him in there walking around filming himself saying that it was his house, and like, yeah, it wasn't his house.
Who paid for food? Who paid for things?
It depends whether, like, obviously now I know where the money was coming from. So, like, it was inconsistent because he's scamming people for money. So, like, I was under the intention that he had money in Kenya, and he's showing me pallets of money and this, that, and the other. And, you know, I can't get hold of it right now. You know, I can't touch this. And, you know, I need to do this to release this, and blah, blah, blah. And I need to travel over here. And I've got a contract with, you know, embassies and treasuries and this, that, and the other. But like, he'll show you the paperwork. It was like the PhD thing, you know. He has generally got all the paperwork. This is how he scams people, is because everything is there in front of you and it looks legitimate, you know. So like, I feel really sorry for the people, like the Crystal, the person that got scammed while I was with him. Like, he love bombed her from America through a phone, through a message, and was like, you know, we're going to get married. This is while we were together getting engaged. You know, we're going to get married. Da, 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 da. And she ended up losing nearly $170,000 to him.
What did he do?
He was meant to invest it into Aura, which obviously we went through the BVI and found out that actually British Virgin Islands, to those who don't know, and the company's actually been liquidated for like 3 years. So like, it proves that everything he's done is genuinely a scam, because these people are investing into a company that has got dissolved.
What kind of cars did they pick you up in?
No, he used to just get me taxis. But and then all of a sudden, so things changed. So like, I started picking up on loads of stuff.
How far into it?
I'd say probably 4 months.
That's a long time. When do you start questioning you being gullible and you being naive? Because the signs are clearly fucking there.
Yeah,
How
I
hard
was
is
just
it for
so...
women listening or watching? Because you're clearly on it as well. You ain't fucking silly.
Yeah.
Obviously, when I say that, you've clearly have been as well.
Yeah.
To let someone get under the radar, because with the exes coming forward and all the telltale signs,
Yeah.
were you that desperate for love? On the other hand as well, like, how do you then look at your own self?
I want to say that I wasn't desperate for love, and I definitely wasn't looking for it either. Like, I'm quite happy just to be on my own, if not the happiest on my own. But it's just the way that he wangled himself in. And like I say, he mirrored the person that I had loved the most so much that I fell in love with someone that just didn't exist, like, at all. So like, I've built this picture of someone that was like everything I've ever wanted, for it just to turn so dreadful. Like, because when I did start realizing is when things then started being like exactly how the exes were explaining. And then I was stuck, because I was getting like addicted to chaos, because I didn't really know what the calm felt like. And I was like, I so wanted to be in love with that person that I've just been in love with for 4 months, and I felt so safe with, and in my feminine. And now it's all starting to change, and my brain is like, I can't really even explain it. I'm like, oh, do I leave? Do I stay? Do I leave? Do I stay? And then when I would go through days where I did leave, and I was like, I don't want this anymore, or, you know, I need a bit of space. And like, I would leave, but I would always get dragged back in, because it was like, I'm trying to hang on to the highs, because you don't want to be in that low. And like, you're like, wow, you felt so good for that long. And then you're like, and then you're realizing, like, you know, he actually lives at his dad's, and, you know,
Where did his dad stay?
He's like downtown in just a house, just a bungalow.
So he stays with his dad.
So he lives with his dad, yeah.
But what about the photos? Surely if you've seen someone with the photos that are, he looks about 25, standing with Elon Musk, and then you meet him, he's no hair, he's old, like surely fuck you, like, we're living in a gay generation, by the way, like men are becoming weak as fuck, men are becoming so gay, and I don't, listen, do you know what, I do mean it because it's the fucking truth, like, men using filters, men on TikTok lives, I think we're becoming so soft. I see it and I think, nah, ain't going to be me. Where, like, I ain't a fucking clout chaser. Even though I interview people, I use those clips to go forward. I'm not doing videos every day, speaking into my phone. I think when I see men doing that, I think, listen, it's okay to promote your business, but I just see men are completely losing themselves. They're completely losing their self-worth. They're completely losing who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
Be a bit stronger. Have a bit of fucking balls about you. But when you see someone using all filters, you can see clearly
Yeah.
that ain't real.
Yeah.
Like, when you met him and seen that it wasn't him, like, what are you thinking then?
I don't know. I think it was more like there's just the charm and the laughter and like.
So you bypassed it wasn't him on the photos,
Yeah.
but you've got to take some accountability as well because fuck me, like,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's there in black and white for you to go, nah, you're not who you say you are.
Yeah.
Like, what did they say when did you ever pull him up for the photos?
Yes. Yeah.
What did they
Not
say?
till like
Because
I
you don't
say,
want to hurt
around
people's feelings as
around
well. 'Cause
4 months in,
Yeah.
and when things started going downhill, and like he would make me feel really like rubbish about so many things. Like everything was always turned on me. Like everything, like it's narcissistic behavior. It's just like anything he was trying to cover up, he would turn it on me to make himself feel better. Like it could be like the smallest thing. Like, but it was just, yeah, it was very toxic. But yeah, I guess I did send him like 2 photos off of his Instagram and then a photo that we had took together, and I'd cropped his face out, and I was like, you even lie about the way that you look.
what is, and people are insecure, and sometimes
I think
to be soft
he
as
believes,
well.
like, he's so like cocksure. He believes that that's what he looks like because he's so deranged. Like, he's honestly, like, it's actually very, very scary. And I know that it's been made into a public joke, but when you actually look into it, it's very scary that someone like that is just casually just walking around. Because, like, not even just mentally, like, the man is genuinely a psychopath.
Yeah, well, you're talking Tinder swindler kind of thing.
Yeah.
When he had the private planes and all the other shit, but he was using the woman's money to have that lifestyle. I feel as if
Yes.
he was more savvy, the Tinder swindler. I feel as if he presented himself well. He looked the way he acted, the way he looked the way he acted. He had he was taking them on private planes. So if he's picking you up in a brand new Range Rover, if he's taking you to the Palm, there's no questions.
Yeah.
He can get away with much longer. So if he's going to tell you, can we get money? I've got funds in fucking Kenya. Here's the gold. Here's whatever. You could have probably asked your family. He could have probably done a lot more if he was more switched on, even though he is psychotic for his behaviour.
Yeah.
But he's just not as smart as what he thinks he is.
Yes.
From my own perspective.
Yeah. Because as well, that's what I was getting to. Like, obviously, when Crystal, bless her, like when she finally started paying him, obviously then I started seeing money. So I was like, oh, actually, I've started to question, and all of a sudden he's got all this money, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it is true. We're going to look at rings, and he's taking me down to Cartier. He's getting bags sent to my workplace while I'm at work, so where my energy had shifted, and now all of a sudden, actually, I'm like, oh, maybe he was telling the truth.
And then you feel bad for even questioning it.
Yeah. And then he would make you feel bad for questioning it as well, because he'd be like, I told you, but I was just testing you.
So when did you find out about that woman who was taking money from?
When he went to prison.
So how long into the relationship he went to prison?
That was October.
How far into it then?
7, 8 months.
And by that time you're engaged?
Yes, we had just got 2 weeks engaged.
So you're engaged a few months into it, he proposes to you in the Burge.
Yep.
How much was the ring, if you don't mind me asking? Was it a real ring?
Well, from what I was aware of and the ring that we went to look at, it was, I think it totaled to like £70,000. And then you can then go to, as people will know in Dubai, the Golden Diamond Souk, and you can get like a copy paste made, and it can be like a 5 carat you choose, and you can get that for like a fraction of the price.
Did you give him the ring back?
No.
Have you ever had it valued?
Yes.
Much?
Well, it was out of the Golden Diamond Souk.
So it wasn't 70
So
buys?
it's not, yeah.
And you believed it was that one?
Yes.
So see, how did he end up in the
Because
jail?
he actually went and put a deposit in front of me on that ring. So he does like small things.
Mm-hmm.
So you believe. Does that so when you're putting down, okay, £1,000 on, and he'll say, yeah, I'll come pick it up. I'll pay cash tomorrow or whatever, yeah. And I don't want you to be here while I pick it up because it's not, that's not how it's meant to be, and da-da-da-da. So the story makes sense.
How did they end up in the jail?
So CID just came and knocked at our door at like 11 o'clock at night. And
In Dubai?
Yeah.
And how long was in for?
About 3 or 4 weeks. But within those 3 or 4 weeks, I found out a lot.
What did you find out?
Everything about him, just everything. Because for once, remember, he was like Velcro. I couldn't breathe without him breathing down my neck. I went to the gym, he came with me, whether he trained with me or whether he just watched me from the corner. Because if I didn't go with him, straight away I was accused of, oh, you probably went and talked to this person, that person, you probably done this, you probably done that. I was just, so I actually almost wanted him to come everywhere with me because I was thinking it just causes so much drama when I'm not with him. Or if I want to go, so I would say we don't have to train together all the time. I want to train, 2 or 3 hours a day. You don't want to train that much. So, oh yeah, it's fine. I'll just come and work in the corner. I've got loads of emails that I can catch up on. But and then he'd laugh and joke and he'd come over and if he saw someone was sitting or came over and shook my hand, he would actually go over to the person and be like, oh, you that's my partner. It's very possessive behaviour.
Is that a turn on for you though? Being someone where they can make it out as if they're being protective?
No, I felt
beyond that.
Yeah. I felt,
because a lot of people can buy into that as well when they say you're my partner, I love you, I don't want anybody, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And people can go, oh, he just loves me, not realizing, listen, that's a fucking nutcase.
Yeah. No, I was quite aware that it was a lot. But like I say, it's as soon as you start believing something and you're like, oh, actually, yeah, this isn't right. And you start looking into it. Then all of a sudden it pulls something out of the bag. And then you're like, oh, actually, maybe I am wrong.
Did you speak to anyone about it?
So when I did, that's, again, it just turned things very nasty because I would then go back and I'd say, I have spoken to blah, blah, blah about so-and-so and this, that and the other. And he'd go, you're speaking bad about me in front of your friends and, you're going to make them not like me and this is not fair. What you're saying is not true. If you really loved me, you wouldn't be speaking badly out when I'm not around. You would never turn on me behind my back. Why are you telling people these things? Why are you letting them have an opinion? They know nothing. They couldn't fathom anything that I do in my life. This is why I don't tell people because, they, like I say, they can't fathom. They're small potatoes in my world, this is why I don't have people around me because this is exactly what happens and you're just listening to others. If this is who you are, then we shouldn't be together because people don't know half of the things that I go through and what I'm doing and how I, the companies that I own, and they have no idea because I don't just, out it to everyone. I don't flaunt it to everyone. So everyone has their judgment, blah, blah, blah. And it just go on and on and on at me about it. So I did become muted.
What was his dad like?
I have very mixed opinions because I really, really like his dad. His dad is an amazing person. I feel very sorry for him because from what I know and from what he told me while Lee was in prison and wasn't fricked to death of Lee himself, and wasn't getting the support off of Lee. He was actually a really successful businessman when they moved over to Dubai like 22 years ago, and like he had a really successful company. He had a big property portfolio over in the UK, and Lee just absolutely ruined everything. And
Did his dad have that though, or could that be another part of the fucking scamming?
no, I'm think it's all pretty legitimate.
So he was in
From
Dubai
what I
with his
know.
dad for 23 years.
Yeah.
And when he got to jail, what was all the shit that you found out for like weeks?
Just his dad told me a lot about him and how like he just lies through his teeth, and and when it's coming from a dad, you sort of start to really believe it, because you're like, right, okay, like my dad wouldn't speak badly about me. I know that. Like,
Because you've put videos out when he's saying he's out the airport and he needs to go to Qatar, and I think you've got a video where he's sitting in the car and he's got a hat on and he's pretending to be in the UK.
sickness, yeah.
Like, what was those videos? Why was he doing that?
Because I was in the UK and I was calling his bluff and saying, you're not coming. Like, I now know you're not coming. Why are you lying to me? Send me your location. WhatsApp call me. Because you have to put your VPN on. Oh, my VPN's not working. I'm like, well, you don't need to. Then he would screenshot me a photo and it would still be in Dubai time. And then I'm like, well, it's this time in the UK and you're screenshotting me a photo and you're in Dubai time, but you're telling me that you're in the UK. So if you're in the UK, come and meet me.
Yeah, look, everything's there. So I'm going to check out now Oman Air. I was going to get my refund issued and see what they'll give me for fucking free, but let me check Oman Air, see what flights are there, and Virgin and British Airways, okay? And I'll call you later. But Terminal 2 is where Oman Air is, so I'm going to go online now, just while they issue my refund. That just takes 1 minute. It's just the desk behind me in there, so I'm at the business section. I just came outside because, I was using words like, flight risk and stuff, so. I love you, I'll sort it, okay?
And then, like, he'd book, like, the Grove, yeah, and he'd say, okay, like, we'll meet at the Grove. And then, like, he would start a massive argument and, like, start being like, I've been on your phone looking at this while you're asleep. I used your facial recognition to get in your phone while you're asleep. Well, you can't do that because my eyes aren't open. So I know that you're lying, and I saw this, that, and the other. You haven't seen anything. You're making up stories in your head, and now you're making me question myself. That it was so intense, I saw such a bad side towards the end. Like, towards the end, it was like, it wasn't just mental abuse. It did turn physical.
And what was saying? In what way? What was he doing to you?
Strangulation, yeah, it was like I had him figured out. He didn't know what to do. And that's when he used to turn angry.
So he couldn't manipulate anymore with his words, so you've seen through it. So only option then is violence.
Yeah.
How many times was he married before?
From what I'm aware, he had one wife that apparently is, Russian dignitary, and her uncle is Putin. They had private jets.
It's comical. I'm sorry for laughing, but it's fucking nuts. And people.
I have to laugh about
Yeah.
it now because, like, it's not a funny situation to have gone through, but when I'm like, I have to laugh. Like, look, you can go two ways about it. You can really let things affect you, which I already done that for years with what I went through, or you can say, right, okay, like, you were stupid and yeah, you went through that, but there's so much more to life. So that's why I can sit and actually go, right, okay, like, I can't turn back the hands of time, so I can't turn around and go, oh, that didn't happen. Like, obviously there are parts that have scarred me in quite a lot of ways. Like, sexually, there was a lot of abuse as well, like, a lot. And when I look back at it, it makes me really realise actually how bad that part was
Rape.
and how much I turned such a blind eye for the messages that he used to send me and the fact and what he used to do. Like,
What did they do?
it's kind of embarrassing to like admit this, but like he wrote out contracts basically, like to say that he was allowed to rape me, and as his wife, you know, he'd say like, this is a contract from Lee Andrews to my future wife, you know, and yeah, it's okay to rape you. I don't want to say where, but yeah,
Your ass.
yeah, until you're bleeding and crying and screaming and you can't take it anymore, and you will listen and you will obey.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's satanic fucking dark shit. Like that,
Like-
and it was serious. What sort of contracts?
yeah, like he would just write it out and he would be like, you should, like, we need this in place.
So if he did anything, then he's got a free pass, basically.
Basically, yeah. And I think, yeah, he messaged about doing things to like younger people, males, and paying them hush money. He told me some crazy stories, you know, how he's been to the royals and drunk baby's blood, and you know, it's like just
Yeah, adrenochrome.
yeah. But yeah, that side of it, and
How
like
true is that?
he
With
would
how
say
true is that with that cunt? He's probably just. Like, I wouldn't put anything off the cards, but how obviously when you see like royals and high up leaders and there's accusations that they drink blood and stuff like that, is he trying to pretend to be in with them, or
I
is
think
that something he could potentially be doing as well? Because he is full of shit as well.
yeah,
you
it's
know?
you just don't know. That's the thing.
But that's if he's a fucking nonsense. He's talking about kids and. But the rape stuff is fucking dark. You
Yeah.
know, people have
And he
fantasies.
used
People
to,
have
like,
things,
he
but
used
that's
to-
dark.
he used to pay me whilst doing it. So like he would make me get my phone, and the more I wasn't enjoying it, but he'd like, get your phone and put it in front of you, and then like he would transfer me money, and then like he'd be like, yeah, see, like, how good is it being my wife, like, you know. But he would try and make it into a positive. And then he would then want to do it like the next day and the next day, because he knows how painful it will be, and then he used to get off on it. So like the more painful,
What, pretending you were a brass? Or pretending that he was paying for sex? Pretending that,
everything, just all of it.
yeah, that's a fucking monster then.
Yeah.
You know, that's some sick shit.
Yeah.
Was there any times that you didn't want to and he done it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
rape though.
Yeah.
Have you reported that?
Yes.
Sorry to hear that, by the way.
But that got took to Interpol, and then it's been, but it's just the police out in Dubai. It's just
What is the rules over there for women?
it's just, I feel like it's just brushed under the carpet a lot.
Do you think that's why he could potentially target women there, because he has got more free passes than he
you
would
can
anywhere
you
else?
can pay. Yeah.
Did they have other fetishes, other sort of kinks that he tried to manipulate you with that seemed normal that weren't?
Yes.
I'm sorry to ask him, but like what?
But just there's just a lot of different things.
Were you just going with the flow because you thought he normalised a lot of shit?
I guess yes, and a lot of the time, like I knew it was wrong, and like I don't know how to explain why I just turned a blind eye to it, or like tried to just ignore it and let that happen. I don't know. It's like it's something that I'm still trying to answer myself.
What a fucking sick cunt.
Yeah.
I didn't know how dark it was, if I'm honest, so I apologise for my ignorance, but yeah, I just thought it was a scam artist.
Yeah, and I think that's something that affects me in the media, because I do understand that it's a joke, but I also do know that he has not just put me through this, and he has put others through exactly the same. Like, when we were splitting up, he started sending me videos of him doing exactly the same to one of his exes, like, you know, and saying, you know, well, she used to let me do this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 you know. I don't know what he was trying to get out of that, but yeah.
Did they have videos of you as well?
No.
How many victims do you think there is?
Quite a lot. Yeah. I've definitely got confirmation off of like 3 different people about the actions have been very similar.
Fuck me, man, it's got dark in it.
Yeah.
I'm having a kind, not laughing through it, but I'm just thinking some fucking bullshitter scamming people like the fucking crazy Nigerian granddad that everybody gets emails from to send money in.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more darker than I thought, man. He's a sick fucking individual, deserves to be put down
Yeah.
and deserves to be fully exposed, you know?
That's exactly what I always say, like, but he just shouldn't be allowed to walk the streets the way that he is.
When did that start happening into the relationship? How far?
I guess we always had like our sex life was very good, and I think it was another thing that drew me in because it was fulfilled in that manner as well, and I am quite like a sexual person, so it's something that I actually like really enjoy. So, and I guess he sort of tested the water, little bits of role play, this, that, the other, and like, you know. And then I think it was sort of, yeah, it was more towards the end that it got more like this. And yeah, the last like 3 to 4 months, I think, were, he used to talk about rape a lot. I'm going to rape you when you get back. I'm going to rape you here. I'm going to rape you there. Like, just you wait. You know, that there was a lot of rape talk. Like, if I write rape into my phone onto WhatsApp, now I see it. But, you know, like, the term is like, I didn't, it was almost like he tried to normalize it before making it a thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So like,
He's played it down. He's tried to, yeah.
Yeah. So like, while we're actually having what I would say was intimacy, like, and he would class it as rape. So like, but in a message. So then I think that's sort of how it, maybe not actually talking about it now is making me sort of put 2 and 2 together. Like, I'm like, okay, actually, yeah, that sort of makes sense, because when someone's repeatedly telling you that they're going to do that to you, when it actually happens, you're not fully aware that that's actually, because you think that person loves you, so it's not.
Yeah, like I say, love is blind. So you try and do whatever you can for your partner.
Yeah.
If someone's got a fetish or a kink, you think you'll have a little role play. But if it's repeatedly and it's trying to normalise something, then it becomes a different ball game.
Yes.
I've interviewed people who expose human trafficking, what they do to the kids. They get kids to watch porn. They get them to watch porn first, normalise it becomes normal. And then when it happens, it doesn't feel as bad.
Yeah.
If he's constantly manipulating that, constantly repeating that in the mind, then you then become desensitized to something that ain't fucking normal.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, everybody's got their kinks and fetishes, what they do in the bedroom, I don't give a fuck. But if it's repeatedly and it's kind of becoming strange and darker, then you have got issues. For anybody watching or listening, it ain't fucking normal. It ain't normal behaviour.
Yeah.
It ain't normal to accept that behaviour. But then when you're so caught up in a loop, when you're so caught up in a chaos, it's hard to see through the smoke. It's hard to see through the clouds. And I think you can tell by an individual by the way they are in bed. I think the darkness and the perversion, I think it tells a lot about someone. But I think we've become so desensitized with porn for years.
Definitely.
I think people they can't really separate madness anymore, you know? And I think people become so lost in it. And I think it's just fucking mad to me, you know? And I think obviously what you've went through is a lot darker, and he's obviously going to deny a lot of stuff as well, you know?
Everything.
He thinks he's living in a land of luxury and the media, and that's what we're filling his
He's getting
ego.
everything that he always wanted, which was to be in a public eye. You know, he looks at, I've forgotten his name. Like, even like Trump. What's the bald guy's name that's like...
Bezos?
No. Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Like, he's like, yeah, hate, you know, hate is not a bad thing. You know, if people hate you, you're doing something right in life.
But people like Andrew Tate, people do hate him as well.
Yeah.
But he seems to just be hated.
Yeah.
You know, he's no charisma.
Yeah.
He's not got anything about him to go, yeah, he's on it, I would listen to him.
Yeah.
You know, like, I've interviewed everyone, and I think, yep, I don't agree with that. I'm friends with majority of people who come on my show. I don't agree with everything they do.
Yeah.
Some things I do with, but with him, there's nothing to say that he's a leader, or he just looks fucking dark. He looks weird. He looks seedy.
Yeah.
You know, and he's going to defend himself. He's going to try and tarnish people. He's going to try and defend.
And then try and turn it back, you know. That even when he put up the screenshots of the money that he'd sent me, and, you know, I treated her so well, I sent her all this money. People don't know what that money was for. Now, I just told you.
Like the fake prostitution stuff,
Yeah.
the rape.
Yeah.
So how did you eventually get out the relationship?
I ran. I booked a flight within two hours. I was out of the country. Like, he just went out, and I rung my friend, absolutely crying my eyes out. I just had to leave. That night before, it turned violent, volatile. It wasn't good. I stayed up all night. He's like trying to make things right. He obviously felt very bad about what happened, and then he'd turn it on me then, and it was like living with two personalities for the night. Like, he generally does have something very wrong with him. He switches into different characters constantly. Like, his voice changes. And I used to say, like, even the way that his jaw was shaped used to change. I used to know when he was angry. Like, it was like everything just went a bit more square. Like, and like, I could just see it. And like, no, I'm fine. You know, the tonage of his voices are very different. And I could tell. Like, by the end, I could just tell. And I was really quite frightened of him towards the end. And yeah, that one night, it was icing on the cake for me. I thought, fuck this. Did I stop talking to him straight away? No, I didn't. Very easily admit to that. Did he try and drag me back in? Yes, many of times. Was I tempted? Sometimes, because I got so used to so much chaos that, like, I didn't really know what to do with myself.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. So I'm sat there thinking, like, what, like, I haven't got someone on FaceTime 24 hours when I'm not with them. They're not texting me 24 hours when I'm with them. Everything's gone quiet. And I'm sat with my own thoughts. And then he's still trying to talk to me. And then on the same side, he's like, oh yeah, I'm in Monaco. I've met this new woman, and I'm this and I'm that, trying to get a retaliation from me. I'm sat at home in the UK at this stage, you know, but I ran. I rang my best friend, and I said to her, she lived 2 blocks up, and I said, please come and help me. I need to pack my stuff, and I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, I just want to go. And yeah, I done it. I booked a ticket. I got on a flight, and I flew home. And yeah.
Did he watch porn?
Well, not with me, but yes.
Like, a lot of people who watch porn are nutcases.
Yeah.
You know, they don't realise the damage that it does.
Yeah.
All the psychopaths who become mass murderers and do mad stuff,
Yeah.
you know, they were all addicted to porn.
Yeah.
There was a documentary about it in America that spoke about 10 of the biggest serial killers. Everyone was addicted to porn.
Yeah.
You don't know what that does. Did he take anything as well when he was...
Never.
I don't know if Viagra's or any injections or anything.
Yeah. Viagra, yes, because I used to find like empty packets, but he never told me that he took those. But I used to, like, we lived in the same bloody house, for God's sake. You put someone's washing away, you know, go in a sock drawer, like, you soon, you know, you can't just hide things from people that you live with, like, especially if it's just in a sock drawer, you know. So I never asked him though.
Was he cheating on you while in this relationship?
I don't know, but I have had a couple of people come forward and say that while I was in the UK and our apartment was free, that they have been round the house, but they found him very odd and they didn't sleep with him. Do I believe that they didn't sleep with him? I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Did he have a... So he's still got a travel ban?
Yes.
How many times has he been charged in Dubai?
I think he had, from what he told me he had 11 cases open against him when he came out. That's what he had messaged me. You know, you don't know what I've just been through. I've had to basically bribe 3 judges and pay them off. He got
Because
done
it's-
for like treason and this, that, and the other. And
So you've left that relationship. You've got away with it. Do you think you would have just got on with your life and stayed silent
yes,
until then?
100% yes.
Until you then see him all over the media.
It wasn't even him. I was involved in it because the thing that went into the media was a picture of me on the front of the Sun, and him, and Katie, and him in exactly the same, and it's like copy paste engagement. So straight away, I woke up in Thailand because I just went there for a 3-week holiday just to try and
recharge,
yeah,
reset.
yeah, and like I was at a point where I hadn't looked at Lee's profile. I hadn't like that. Even my friends had said like you can tell that you're now like
Free.
yeah, because you're not speaking about him. And then I booked a holiday. Thought right, just go reset. And yeah, I was like 5 days into my holiday, and all of a sudden I woke up because we're 6 hours ahead, and I woke up to like message like I've got a few close friends, you know, my phone does not go off a lot, and I'm like, oh my god, like, and then I'm like what the fuck, like I'm looking, I'm on the front of the Sun, and I'm like, what has gone on, like, you know, and then I'm reading, and I'm like, you know, and then I'm like, okay, like, maybe I should speak up, like, because yes, I was well ready to just be like, and I actually said it to my friends, anyone that gets with him, I am like, I won't be warning. I don't want anything to do with it. I literally want out. Like, I don't want anything to do with that man ever again. And as horrible as that sounds, like, I just didn't want to be involved with him at all. And he's obviously got with a public figure, someone famous. I don't know how you want to call Kate. And I don't think he realised actually how long Kate has been in this industry, and actually how many people she actually has as fans, and not fans, but you know.
Oh, people love Kate. Listen, I've interviewed her. I think she's sound.
Yeah.
She's off her fucking head, and,
Yeah.
and I would say that to her. But she's not as stupid as people think.
No.
You know, and
Agreed.
she has been through a lot her whole fucking life. Like,
And
she
I
was
think as well,
stunning back in the day. Like, she was gorgeous, and the industry, that industry is very dark, and it
Yes.
can destroy people.
yeah, I think she's also been through a lot of weird relationships, which is probably why she is normalising Lee's behaviour a little bit as well.
How did they meet?
From what I know,
Instagram.
she reached out to him,
No chance.
but I do not believe that.
Nah, no
at
chance.
all.
I don't
like
believe
that's
that.
just something that I can't believe.
If he's dropped a message on Instagram, somebody's looked
And
at his
she's got
profile.
his profile, yeah,
He's in private planes. He's standing with Elon Musk.
yeah,
He's got a great figure. He's
Yeah.
looking the part. He's no wrinkles. Full head of hair.
yeah,
It's easy to buy into it.
yeah.
Because people don't expect people to go that far.
No,
So why would you question it? Yes, people can use filters. But the lengths that he's went to is a whole different ballgame. I don't know what the words
and he
are
would have
for him.
researched into her, like, see where he got to date me. He could research her, so like he could see what her pain points were before even meeting her. So even over text and everything, like he would be able to show that affection that he showed me very quickly by me sharing, because we were together a lot. Whereas he would just be able to go online, you know, Katie Price, and he will sit and read that, and he will take in everything, and he will be everything that she's not used to, which is exactly what she says. He's the most perfect person that I've ever been with, and he hasn't done anything to me yet. So why should I paint him with that brush? I said exactly the same thing.
But he will have a longer game with her.
Yes.
With you, it's not in the public domain. With him, he knows he needs to be more strategic.
Yes.
So yous are all crazy exes.
Yeah.
Look at her, she's all this. I've sent her money. She's the fucking nutcase.
Yeah.
And listen, everybody's a nutcase in relationships. There's times you would have lost your nut where you're saying, like, okay, send me a screenshot, this and that.
Yeah.
Like, he can then say, well, she's controlling, she's possessive, but you're just losing your mind, knowing that he's lying, just wanting the truth.
Yeah.
But then it can be twisted.
Of course.
And now, obviously, people were still going to get, oh, you're just a hater. Why did you not come out sooner? But you're not going to come out sooner because you want to bury something.
Yeah,
You-
I was
it's
ready
not-
to bury that.
Yeah.
I was, but I'm very happy to admit that. Like, I was ready to put that behind me, and just move the fuck on, get that out of my head.
I
Like,
don't think that would have been good for you, though.
no,
I
definitely
think in a
not.
year's time, 2 years' time, you could have been back
It
in the Priory.
yeah. It would have eaten away at me, and it was silently eating away at me anyway. Like, I have always been seen as such a very a strong character, and a lot of people come to me if they feel like shit, and I love that, and that's how people know me, and people will always know me to be the person that will always fill a cup up because my cup's always half full, and that's how even my friends, my family, everyone knows me as that. And I didn't want to be the person that's like dragging everyone down. No one really knew anything that I was going through. I have like one close friend, two close friends that know some of it and like knew how bad it was, but they didn't want to lose me as a friend, so they didn't want to put their input in too much because I'm quite a stubborn person and I like to go off of what I feel and think, not off of what someone's trying to tell me.
Yeah, we always feel as if we know best.
Yeah.
So if someone's nitpicking at your partner,
Yeah.
you'll tend to distance yourself from the one who's putting them down because the partner will be saying to get rid of them anyway.
Yeah.
Because someone else sees them for what they are.
Yeah.
What was it like coming forward then? Because I don't think you've went in this depth of what you've actually been through, but how was it coming forward to then try to shed some light on it? But it must also be good for you because people can see that he's a fucking idiot.
Now.
And that's only for what he's portraying himself to be.
Yeah.
But it goes more darker, especially with the rape stuff, especially talking about kids and fucking drinking blood. Like, he is a fucking Satanist then. He is bad to the bone, you know? And these people deserve to be exposed.
Yeah.
And it's not as if it's someone who's got any credentials. It's not as if someone's got any credit or someone is people believe him. There's nobody believes him. I always thought it was a bit strange with their relationship and the way it's getting so much media attention. I thought it was like some AI thing. I thought it was, and then I seen her having a documentary. I don't know if it was like all played out like a setup. It just doesn't seem real because of the amount of people in the Sun doing TikToks and doing videos and shedding light on it. I'm thinking something's just not right here. And I'd like to think she's not as naive as what people think, but
He
you just
really
don't
does
know.
suck you in though. Like,
Yeah.
I know she might be clever, but when you do have someone that is like picking up on all your pain points and making you feel like so loved and wanted, and remember, they're not together as much because she comes back to the UK. So that's escapism. So like she goes there, it's like going on holiday.
She can breathe.
Yeah.
What about when he then says he get took hostage for 3 weeks and then come back with a hair transplant?
I mean, it's just
Do you think that she believed that? Because I didn't know if it was being set up where she may, because she knows how to play the public, she knows how to work the media and make money from the media. So sometimes when you see things, I think it's maybe been set up to make more money, gain more traction. She's maybe paid 20 grand, 50 grand for a story. He's been kidnapped when he just went for a hair transplant. Or do you actually think he's told her he's been kidnapped and it's went that far? Because it just doesn't seem legit to me. It seems all fucking weird, you know. And Katie is the media that you can't really, even though she gets bad press, she also owns the media. She's got a lot of high profile names that work in there that can promote stories. So I just question how that would work. Did she actually think that? Or is she kind of knew that he was going for a hair transplant, but maybe let's just put that out there to gain more traction? Or maybe it's his idea that he said to her to say that. I don't know. There's so many different ways you can look at it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was only on the way up here that I actually saw a video that randomly just popped up on my feeds, and it was about how Kate knew all along that he had gone to prison and it wasn't kidnapped because of the timings between two videos that she had done of him being kidnapped and then on the phone to his dad saying that he was in prison. So like, and they had put the timings together, and they were like, "Oh,
It was never
she
in
knew all
prison.
along."
Because they mentioned a name and a couple of names to say that he was speaking to these people in prison, and that's not the truth. He's
No.
full of shit. He was never in prison. He was never speaking to those people, and I know that for a fact.
And when he went to prison last time, they do shave all your hair off.
He never had any fucking hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a baldy cunt. He never had any fucking hair. So for people to take him as a target and guns and all that shit, he's not that high profile, you know. But then again, if he's done all that shit that he's done to you and other people coming forward, there's a possibility he has been ripped in for questioning as well. But it just seems all messy. It seems a lot more sinister.
That I don't know about, and I don't try and keep up with too much when it comes to them, because I also have realised that it's not very healthy for me. And I warned Kate, and I stand by my word. Like, when and if she realises, which I hope nothing bad happens to her, at all, and I hope that it doesn't, get to a stage where it could damage her more. And I hope that she does understand what and who he is. I'm sure deep down she can see.
Have you spoke to her?
No, I spoke to her when it first kicked off, and then no, I haven't spoken to her.
What did she say?
At first she was all yeah, I'm a girl's girl, and she was thanking me for coming forward and blah blah blah, and then within a few days she was back in Dubai with him.
Hopefully it doesn't go too far and too deep where damage is done, because you don't know what he's doing behind the scenes. You don't know, you say.
It seems that he's getting worse and worse, because I did see the interview of Kate the other day, and she was saying that she had asked him to stop posting on socials because he's becoming such a joke, and because he put up did you see the thing about his mental health?
No.
It's probably another scam, to be honest. He's probably putting up a mental health thing, and then what he'll do is because he thinks that he's now famous, and he probably thinks that he could sue people for being,
Defamation.
Yeah, of course. So if he got signed off with mental health, he probably thinks now, oh, well, money,
So you'll be seeing angles how to make money from this.
Yeah.
Not realising every partner that Katie Price has, nobody's asked about them. Obviously Peter Andre, but every other one, they just become flatlined.
Yeah.
You don't make it.
Yeah.
You don't become fucking celebrity and household name. I think he's talking about being on EastEnders and other things, and I'm thinking...
Oh, yeah, well, they have, rung EastEnders and never, said that they've never, he said about, I'm a celebrity, loads of different stuff. It's just delusional.
But everything does happen for a reason, even though sometimes it can be fucking dark, and sometimes people question why they go through what they go through. And obviously him popping up on social media, and I'm not discrediting anything you're saying, and hopefully that more people come forward and there is convictions, and it just seems as if this is only the start of what you have to go through, babe. I feel as if you need to fucking mentally prepare yourself to what's to come, because I feel as if when this goes out, I feel as if a lot more people are going to come forward with him, because like I say, you seem legit, you seem a nice person. Listen, you're a little fucked up the same as us all, we're always searching. Sometimes I think I've got it together, and other times I look in the mirror and think, James, you're a fraud. You talk a lot of shite. Then that's all I do is talk shite. But I feel as if there's going to be a lot more going to come from this, and I feel as if you need to prepare yourself. But you're in a good place. You're looking great, and I feel as if it's only going to make you stronger.
Yeah.
Because somebody needs to be at the forefront, because this ain't normal.
Yeah, I'm very glad that I spoke up, just because I know that it's not just one or two people that I've helped. There's been thousands of people that have messaged me, thousands.
Not just from him, but from other things they've been through.
Yeah, and saying thank you so much for coming forward, and how they don't feel like they've been in a normal relationship, and I will never dismiss that now.
I can't dismiss anything. I had interviewed a woman who was married for 16 years, 4 kids to the man. Do you know that fucking sex case was drugging her every night and having sex with her? She says it wasn't the sex, James. I would have slept with him anytime, but it's like a sense of power.
Yeah.
And then you've got a man who was drugging his wife, and they had other men coming into the house.
That was one of his fetishes, is Xanaxing, and yeah.
Do you feel as if he could have done that and put something in your drink?
There's a couple of times where he would want me to take it so he can do certain things.
That's scary, babe.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. That's someone who's completely lost the plot.
Yeah.
What's the steps then to go forward? Obviously, we don't want to give too much away. But where does it all go from here? Is there police involved now or what? Like,
Yeah, there is a case open against him that have been given over to Interpol. What is going on there, I don't know. I've not long been back in the UK. I have been in contact with the police here, but because the crimes weren't done in the UK, they actually can't. It's under their jurisdiction, is it?
yeah. Could that be one of the reasons why he's not coming back to the UK though? Because he has
he's got a V.
wants out.
He literally can't.
So he's literally travel banned.
Yeah.
Why is he not in prison then in Dubai? Because you
'Cause you
bounce a
just-
check in Dubai, you can go jail.
Yes.
So with all the fraud and all the scamming and all the other stuff,
This is where it gets a little bit confusing, because you're like, okay, he must know someone or have some sort of money that he is paying to keep himself out. Because you can get out, or you can pay to get out on anything. You can pay blood money, you know. That's just how the law is over there.
how are you feeling with it all though?
I'm good, because I'm trying to put my energy into now helping people with. I've gone through so much in my life. Like, if I can help a few people, I'm starting a few charity events. I've got a lot coming up, which is really, really exciting. And I've opened a retreat company over in Iceland.
How can people get involved with that for anybody that's wanting a sort of retreat, reset kind of?
Yeah, so we do give away free spaces as well. Just a couple. Just more for those people that really are going through stuff that we can try and help. But I am doing some charity events that are coming up over the next few weeks, which will be on my socials. And I am partnering with another charity as well, which is similar, which will be really, really cool. And yeah, you can get involved by going on the Instagrams and taking a little look, and you do an application. But it's amazing, and I'm trying to filter into different charities so they can come forward and help more people, because I can be an open ear, but I can't advise. So, and I'm very happy for people to message, and you know, if they're going through something, because that's something that's pushed me through this, is that I now know I'm not the only one, and it made me feel less silly, because you can feel, you know, you can feel stupid, you can feel like an idiot. Like, I still do. Like, I don't, like, I laugh, like I say, I laugh, but I have to laugh, because, like, you know, what else do you do?
Yeah, and it is when you think about it, like you think, well, shit, how naive I was, but when you understand what you actually went through, then it's no laughing matter.
Yeah.
You know, I laugh through mad shit and laugh, and I think I shouldn't be laughing, but that's the only way I survive.
Yeah.
You know, it's the
Yeah.
only way you can get through things. When was the last time you actually spoke to him? Did he try and reach out when you came forward?
Yeah. Him and Kate sent me a video together, basically trying to shut me up, and she said something that he had mentioned to me, and he went very awkward, because he had obviously turned it to make Kate think that I was the person that had said about doing that. So he's obviously made me look like a very odd person, when actually it's him. And then, like, when she said it, he's like, yeah, I think that's it now, you know, getting all, you know, twitchy. But yeah, that was the last that I heard from him.
Yeah, hopefully, like it's.
But it's sort of like an intimidation thing, you know, trying to basically
silence you. Yeah, but fuck them.
Yeah.
And it's not her, because if
No,
he's doing
no,
the
no,
exact
no,
same
no.
what he's done to you,
Yeah.
with all the fakery and
Trust me, I used to do that, like, with his exes. I was like, no, like, I wasn't listening.
And what about the Budge thing when you seen her getting engaged in the Budge? Like, what you thinking? It's the same setup, same roses, same shit.
Psychopath. It's just, and that's one thing that I was like a bit like, oh, if someone had done that to me, like, that would just become so unspecial. Like, and it was only 16 weeks beforehand. I'd just be like, what? Like, you would just be a bit like, what the fuck?
And what about the people who think you're like bitter ex and jealous?
Fuck them.
I tell you, there's no fuck all to be jealous about you,
Literally,
that
fuck
Taja.
them.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, I left him I left. I ran. There's no bitterness in me. The man's an absolute vile creature. He's a waste of oxygen, and he will be dealt with however the universe feels to treat him. And his time will come. And when it does, everyone will see, like they are already seeing, and like how a lot of people have already eaten their words, and they're probably sitting there thinking, wow, I actually abused that girl. I actually sent her a really horrible message. And I did. I received some absolutely terrible messages, disgusting. People taking time out of their day, oh, why are you doing this? You want clout. No, it's not because I want clout. If you come and look at my phone and go through the messages that people have sent me, the fact that they're going through the same thing. No, like, if I can do something to try and help those people now, yes, of course I'm going to do that. I'd be sick not to, now it's changed my perspective, because I used to be one of them people that I would look at a bad relationship and I'd go, don't really feel sorry for her because she didn't get herself out of it. Now I get it. So and now I understand how much this has actually helped people. Like, it's wild. Like, not just women, men.
Mhm.
And like, if I can help someone from taking their own life, because that's what it ends up for, or someone end up getting killed by their partner, or beaten daily, or raped, or and trying to think that it's correct because they're telling you and they're making it seem correct. If I can help people through that, then why wouldn't I? Like, that's now, I feel like that's my mission in life. And maybe that's why what happened to me has happened, because I am that person. And I've always been very compassionate, and I've always been a bit of a helper. And I worked in an end of life unit for 2 years. And it was like one of my favorite jobs because I was helping people. And I feel like I said to my mum years ago, I feel like I got put on this earth not to enjoy it that much myself, but is to help people.
Is he Muslim?
Well, he said that he turned Muslim for his ex, but again,
Was he not trying to get the 4 wives or anything, try to get you married? Was he not trying to get you to be
Yes.
Muslim?
all the time, he was always trying to get me married. But I said to him, the only way that I'd get married is in the UK. I would never get married in Dubai.
That could have
That's
been
why
a game changer for you if you got married there.
Yes.
Because is there any laws of rape or anything there if your husband rapes you? What is the laws?
No.
It used to be here that you
It's
could...
even hard to try and say that when you're with someone. Like, when you go to a police station and you're like, yeah, he's my partner, but he's been doing X, Y, and Z, you feel like an idiot.
And did you go to the coppers?
Yes.
What'd they say?
Not over there, though.
Oh, yeah,
I
you said you went
couldn't,
there.
I couldn't get away from Lee for 10 minutes. And if I was, he was on FaceTime. Like, he was breathing down my... When I booked flights to come home, I actually wouldn't tell him that I've booked the flights. And I'd wait until he went out, and then I'd book the flights, and I'd quickly go and get on the flight. And I'd tell him that I was going home, because I was that scared that he would make me stay. So there's always that element of doubt. And why I stayed, I don't know. Like I say, there's still things that I'm trying to figure out myself.
Is there a potential he could have killed you at the end up?
I truly believe that he has that in him, and that could happen. Yes.
Does he take steroids?
Yes. Yeah. And he told me that he hadn't, and I told him that if he did, because his ex told me that make sure that he's not on steroids because it gets 10 times worse. Everything will get worse. And when he went to prison again, I obviously started, because he had told me that he needed money to get out. So he told me that he had this amount in this drawer and da-da-da-da-da. Obviously, I never look. Like, I'm not... Like, we're together, so it's not something that I'm going to go and look for. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, there's this in the house. I'll double check that it's there. If he says this is in the house and this is where it is, I have no reason to want to look. Yeah. So, but yeah, when he did go to prison, I looked at everything. I looked for his phone that was left. I looked through the cupboards. That's when, I saw, all the Viagras, testosterone, everything, and yeah, like everything he told me that he didn't do, he done. And then the money that he said that he left, there was none. There was nothing,
Did he have many videos of partners he'd been with?
I definitely know there was quite a lot of videos of one of them.
Has that girl ever came forward? Have you ever spoke to her?
I have spoken to her. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Because I feel as if it's easier when there's been so many different people involved, because it
Yeah.
can be shameful, it can be embarrassing if you think it's only them.
Yeah.
But when there's different people coming forward, then it's a different ball game, you know. And like you say, it happens not just to women but men. We're living in a generation of fucking degenerates, but people are becoming so fucking far lost. And I don't have all the answers, but I genuinely think porn and social media, they're free for a reason, because it's damaging the minds. It's total chaos in the minds, and we're becoming so manipulated. The brain is the most powerful instrument on this planet, and we use it backwards. I was exposed to porn for like 9-10 years old.
Yeah.
You're exposed to stuff that you think is free, and that's what you should be doing. But when you look up about semen retention and other things, you start to understand, shit, man, this stuff gives me power, this gives me energy, it gives me strength, and we're so backwards. And we feel as if when you're in a relationship, everything should be sexual because that's how you express love. It's all backwards. There's the lack of connection, it's the lack of intimacy, it's everything that goes missing with it. And like I say, I don't have all the answers, but listening to your story, I don't take sides, but I feel as if I'm siding with you, but I feel as if he is bad. I watch him and I think, nah, he's shifty. But listen, I could be wrong. You could be in here and there's a crazy ex, but everything just points that everything you're saying is legit, if I'm honest, and there's always three sides to the tale.
100%.
And I understand that as well.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what people are, but just when I watch him, when I see him, I think, and we shouldn't judge books by its cover, but you can judge that cunt.
Yeah.
You know, you can see the shiftiness, you can see the lies, and there's a lot more stuff to it.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't want more people coming forward, but I feel as if there will be, because you're hoping it's not true. But it shows you that we're living amongst, and who's out there.
Yeah.
With the lies and the deceit and all everything, the fakeness that comes with it.
And remember, like, it can, I think that's what I was mostly wary about, is like, you know, people can say, oh, you know, why didn't you leave when you knew that it was this wrong? And that's something that I don't have the answer for.
I don't think you'll ever get the answer, because that wife of 16 years started to understand that there was something not right, and then she OD'd. She tried to take her own life.
Yeah.
And then he still raped her while the ambulance was coming and she was ODing. He still raped her, and he told her, listen, when you die, I'm still going to have sex with you or rape one more time. When she dies, like, he was still going to fucking rape like madness. So people can understand, it's easy to throw the comments out there to say, why didn't you leave, you silly cunt? Like, fucking hell. But it's difficult when there's so many different avenues to take care of, because you think you're going crazy, you don't think you're going crazy yet, but he follows up with that. So maybe it is me, it's the problem. So there's so much discussion within your own mind. And this woman, like I say, 16
and this
years.
is where the manipulation, narcissism, and psychotic behavior actually comes in, and it takes such a toll on you. Because, like you say, I did end up questioning myself a few times, like, very much so.
And you do, but that goes for anyone. No matter, sometimes it might take a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. The truth always comes to the top.
Yeah.
And that's what I always need to keep remembering as well, because there's bad in all genders. There's fucking some mad shit, and people trying, with men as well, that when stuff gets said, men are automatically on the back foot anyway.
Yeah.
But there just seems a lot more to this story. There seems to be a lot more out. So listen, first of all, brave to come forward, especially a platform like this as well, that it will be scrutinised. People will support you, but people will speak shit as well, which is understandable. People are allowed an opinion.
Yeah.
He's allowed his opinion.
Yeah.
But I think the more he speaks, I think it more benefits you, because then people can see that, nah, there's something not right. But people fucking love Katie. They love her, and rightly so. Listen, she's done amazing. I don't think she looks too well now. I think this slimming stuff, and it doesn't look good on people. I think you can see it with the sort of cheekbones and turning into skeletons, these people. But that's her own problems and her own demons, you know what I'm saying? I just hopefully she sees light before it gets too dark, you know. But she's not one to be fucked with either, because anything that ever happened to her, she would go full fucking commando. She would go full metal jacket and just expose it as well, you know. And maybe it's something that God has put, or whatever the universe has put Kate in this man's life to then heighten his madness and bring more light to his madness, because she ain't a fucking idiot either.
Yeah.
Like she's exposed every ex.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one man that's come into her life that she
And I
ever spoke
think-
highly of.
That's where I'm glad that I did come forward, because like otherwise, yeah, none of this would, to be honest, even the engagement, it wouldn't have even been a thing. Like it would have just been a thing for 5 days in the news, and then like it probably would have quietened down.
But even if you didn't come forward and something happened to her, people would have gave you shit for not
why
coming
didn't you come-
forward.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you can't win, but what you must do is remain strong.
Yeah.
Like you've been through ups and downs, you've been through a mad shit in your life, and that just makes us more, we become scarred, but we never overcome the scars, which kind of, it does make us more stronger.
Yeah.
More switched on. But
And I think like when I feel my most confident is like if I go back through and I actually look at the messages and I'm like, you've not got a leg to stand on.
there's no more power over you anymore.
Yeah.
When you can look at it and think, nah.
And you can
that
try and
doesn't-
threaten, you can try and put up posts to make me look like the bad person, but just remember what's on that phone. Remember what you said. Just, stay humble, because
It's coming.
otherwise
Yeah.
it will come back to you.
Do you have his voice notes in that? Do you have
Everything.
everything? That's a godsend in itself.
Yeah, and trust me,
You
it's
know,
backed up on about 5 different computers.
Like having the receipts
So-
is important,
Very.
because it then gives you credibility.
Yeah.
Which is important, because
Very.
they will, if she loves him, she's going to defend him as well.
Yeah.
And like I say, she has a lot of power. It's where they're digging up your past, and then before you know it, there's negative stories in you, because that's what they try and do, tarnish your name, drag you through the mud, take away your credibility. Like, I've dealt with the media and I know how they operate, the cunts, and there's shit that they've says about me that's not true.
Yeah.
And that's okay as well, because I know the truth always comes out. So the people who did speak shit, I just hope they have the same energy when the truth comes out. And that's the most important thing, because we've all still got a bit of ego.
Yeah.
And I think, listen, you can't remember when you says that,
Yeah.
because I have to sit back. Because of my platform, there's certain things you can end up getting remanded in prison, because if you speak forward because of the sort of platform. But when truth comes out, you go, okay, where's your energy now, you cunt?
Yeah.
Because I'm not one to forget. I don't forgive either. I try and forget, but I don't fucking forgive. You know what I'm saying? All this forgive and forget gay shit. I ain't down for that anymore.
No.
I was going through a spiritual path back in the day, and it made us more enlightened and trying to be humble, this and that. Listen, fuck all that. I've no time for that shit anymore. If you're a cunt, you're a cunt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't forgiving what you've done, because you've pre-planned that. You've planned something to go against me. You're trying to look for my weaknesses to try and fuck me over. I ain't forgiving you, you cunt.
Yeah.
I'll forget you, but I'll never forgive you. And I'm very well spiritually connected as well. And anybody who tries to fuck me over, it always comes back and bites them in the
Always.
ass for fucking many years.
I'm exactly the same as you there. Like, I'm all about what you put in is what you will get back. So, like,
And I ain't a fucking saint either. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
I'll tell people to fuck off.
yeah.
Listen, you're a cunt, get to fuck. Like, I ain't some dickhead that's going to accept either. But on the other hand, I'm still a soft cunt as well sometimes. But I'm at the stage where I ain't going to take any shit, because I think, well, fuck all this woo-woo shit. It's good to sit in silence. It's good to meditate. It's good to then be in tune with one and fucking hugging trees and walking barefoot. But life is life. There's a lot of demonic individuals on this planet who need to be fucking heads cut off. They need to be paedophiles, rapists. They need to be gone. And for the only way that is to end their life. Death penalty. That's the only way they can't reoffend. Death penalty. Harm a child, death penalty. Simple as that. Because the world is becoming more sicker and it's becoming more normalised, and they're trying to bring down the laws of fucking, like, how the fuck have we got child marriages? How is that possible? How is that a law? Kids at 9. That's paedophilia, and I don't give a fuck the religions or the belief. You're trying to brainwash yourself into believing it. It's a book.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for religion, and if you've got religious and you want to believe in something, good on you.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, from the Bible, the Quran, the Harry Potter book, it's a book.
Yeah.
You only believe it because you're believing in it in the psyche and going, yep, that makes sense. And if you want to do good, and there's plenty of good Muslims and Christians, but there's a lot of fucking demonic stuff in these religions, and I think we need to take away, with the divide, there's so much of it, from left and right, and male and female, gay and straight, black and white, Christian, Muslims, and it's all finger pointing and blaming each other instead of working together, because this is the fight between good and evil.
Yeah.
And we need to expose everything that's bad. Listen, people make mistakes. I've interviewed murderers who've changed their life. I've interviewed drug lords who've changed their life. People can change, but harming a child, the mindset can't be changed.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There needs to be more things put in place to put them on an island, or everybody needs to know, like being fucking microchipped or whatever it is, to know their location. People need to know their whereabouts. And if they get killed, they get killed. What can you do?
Yeah.
You know, I think you should be classed as a hero if you take away a paedophile. And that's just the way I'm. Like, it's just becoming so dark, and I think to myself, fuck me, like the stories I'm hearing.
That's why I went, like, if people say to me, oh, like, do you want children? Like, the answer is no. Not because I don't want children, because I don't want to have the worry of having a child these days.
It's scary.
It's worrying.
Mhm.
Like, not just bullying, you got the paedophiles. You can't just go out on the road and just play like you used to. You know, you're constantly looking over your shoulder. It's a constant worry.
Nursery teachers, school teachers,
Yeah.
male and female.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should be put under a polygraph test,
Yeah.
just when they're working with kids, priests, scouts, football coaches. And I'm not tearing down people who are listening or watching who want to work with kids, who love kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've always dreamed of being a football manager.
But then you've always got
Yeah.
the sick one that, like,
Yeah, only takes one. Do you know what I'm saying? And the karate coach or whoever, it's the perfect place to be demonic, you know, and have your wicked way. And I just feel as if there needs to be more protection. And there's some, like I say, some great coaches, some great people who work with kids who maybe want to be a football coach their whole life, but just manage their under-10s team. Listen, people have got goodness in their heart
Yeah.
because their son plays or their daughter plays, but you've still got to be questioned.
Yeah.
Because of the way the world is going. And I feel as if, I don't know if it's always been like this. I know Germany was bad in the 30s and 40s. I think they had their first transgender. But then again, you don't know how long the planet's been here. You don't know how long humans have been here. You don't know how long, if we're devolving. You don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
You know, we might have our own opinion on it, but we genuinely don't know what was here 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Was it cavemen or was people more advanced? But I feel as if there needs to be a great reset.
yes.
Like I say, I'm just waffling now, but sometimes you have to get shit off your chest because it becomes confusion,
Yeah.
confusing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But how are you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I feel like it's been a nice chat, and
Yeah,
I look at these as like almost, it's like therapy in a way, I guess, because I don't actually talk about things that much. Like, and if I do again, it's like, oh, you're so strong, and like people telling me that I'm strong, and it's nice to hear, but on a daily, people don't understand what you go through like here. So as much as what people see of me doesn't particularly mean that I'm every day like I'm getting up and I feel great about the situation and I'm just outing this and doing this and blah blah blah. Like, I have feelings and emotions, and
how do you then trust a man? Your first partner you loved took his life. This fucking Ike Turner's a demon. Like, how do you then learn to trust? How do you then put faith in
just don't
humanity?
tarnish everybody with the same brush. So that's it's a blessing and a curse, because not everyone's the same. So you can just learn, and unfortunately, but fortunately, I just have a mindset just that, okay, like, just because he's done that does not mean that another person's going to be doing the same thing. But I just have to pick better.
But it just makes you more paranoid, though. Like the levels that people go to in life,
Yeah.
it can make, and it's a great way to think that there's not everybody's the same, but it's difficult to then overcome it without being making you different from the next relationship. You know, making you more colder, making you more.
I'm definitely like in my masculine energy when it comes to meeting someone, like, because I'm like, right, it's like I have to really get to, like, I done this dating show just now, and like, it's all well and good, and it's just been a little bit of like a bit of a bubbly laugh, and like, it's 20-minute dates online, and it's been on Love Talk, and people are like, oh, you know, maybe shoot a lot, but it's just been nice for me just to talk to people and see how I react to certain things, and to see how my brain is like working with what they're saying, and whether it's actually getting to me, or whether I'm, you know, I was sort of just to test the water myself to go, okay, actually, that was a really good conversation, or, oh, I can see traits in Lee, or, you know, I can see, you know, I was sort of done it as like a bit of a experiment for myself, you know, to see whether I feel like that. Because am I scared of going dating? Yes. Am I scared of falling in love? Yes, because the only two people that I've ever loved is those two people, and one obviously was the kindest, most beautiful human ever, and the other one pretended to be that person to make me fall in love, and ended up, you know, being everything that you don't want in life and shouldn't happen. So like, yeah, it is very nerve-wracking, but this week has sort of shown me, and I've been on 4 dates in 4 days online, and it's nice because it's in the safety of your home. So like, if you're just having a TikTok live date, it's so random, but like, I love it because unlike, you know, Celebs Go Dating and bits like that, you know, and all this sort of Love Island, it's so edited, whereas this is just like, I could literally just say, I don't like what you're saying, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And like, everyone will be able to see that.
Did he have kids?
No.
Yeah, just as well then.
No. Apparently he had the snip, but apparently he's trying for a baby with Kate, so I don't know.
You
how
just
it
don't
works.
fucking know. But listen, you are brave, and just keep going. You clearly got it about you that you can keep going, and he's made a mistake from doing what he done to you, and I think it will come to the forefront. It might not be straight away, but you just must keep strong with it, you know. How can people get in contact with you if they want to ask you questions or maybe share stories?
They can go through my Instagram, which is Lana, Larnaa Percival, Percival, and then you've got Reps Retreat as well, which if anyone's like going through some stuff and they feel like they need to be reborn like I was in a sweat lodge, it goes a long way, and to have a good network around you, then that will be starting in August. So yeah, like, I'd love to hear from more people, and I don't dismiss anyone that comes forward, because don't feel embarrassed, and we're all, it's a hard one to say, but like, it's not, you're not stupid, like, as much as you feel like I feel stupid sometimes, but like, you're not stupid at the end of the day. Like, it's a pattern, and unfortunately we get pulled into it, and it's easier than what you think to leave. But
listen, first of all, thanks for coming on today, being
Thank you.
brave. Anything you need, I'm here. Just
you.
keep going, and whatever you're doing is working now, so just keep improving, keep pushing, and keep remaining strong, which is going to be important, I think. So
Yes.
I wish you nothing but the best for the future,
Thank you.
and God bless.
Appreciate you.
Cheers.